Bullyin by Russ Lee. There was once a small vegetable garden in the backyard near the goldfish pond. Do you remember it? Big Daddy always took very good care of that garden. He weeded, watered, and hoed it regularly. Just about everybody thought that his vegetables were the best in the whole world. One year the weather was especially good for growing onions. Not just regular onions, but huge round onions the size of grapefruit. And in this good growing year, there was one very big onion. He was bigger, rounder, and stronger than all of the other onions in the garden. And he knew it. Because of his great size and strength, he began to push the other vegetables around. If he wanted something the others had, he took it. If they protested, his strong odor would make them cry. So everyone let him have his way. He was just a big bully. So all the other vegetables in the garden called him Bullyin. And you know, Bullyin liked his name and did his very best to live up to it. Then one day Big Daddy came to his little garden to find an ingredient for a special recipe. When he saw Bullyin, he became very excited and exclaimed, "Here is the perfect onion for my recipe. Tomorrow I will return and pick it." Bullyin heard what Big Daddy said, and so did all of the other vegetables in the garden. He was very sad, for he knew that tomorrow he would be picked and get cut up into some recipe. He cried and cried. At first the other vegetables were delighted to see Bullyin so unhappy, but then they began to feel sorry for him. "What can we do?" asked the carrot. "How can we help save Bullyin?" Well, none of the vegetables could think of a plan to save Bullyin from getting into Big Daddy's recipe. So they stayed up all night trying to make him feel better. Bullyin would not be comforted. He cried and cried until no more tears would come. In fact, he cried so many tears that he finally shriveled up into a skinny, sickly-looking onion. The next morning, when Big Daddy came to pick his prize onion, he only found a scrawny onion where the proud Bullyin once was. "Drat," said Big Daddy, "it's gone. Now I must go to the market to buy an onion." And that is exactly where he went. When Bullyin saw Big Daddy leave for the market, he jumped for joy. Well, maybe he wiggled his toes, and thanked his vegetable friends for their great concern. And you know, from that time on, Bullyin was the most helpful, courteous, and lovable friend a vegetable could ever have. And he didn't care if he was no longer large and powerful, for he had something much better. He had friends.